Oh.
Um, so yeah, if I wake up with like a bite on my tongue or the side of my mouth or something, like all kinds of what else? So, a couple times I've fallen out of bed in my sleep. Trying to think what else. Uh, yeah, just lots of goofy shit or clues. Um, One time I got out of bed in my sleep, walked to a roommate's room and just kind of was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then walked back to my room. That was kind of funny. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any?
Um, do I have any funny stories?
Do you, do you have any seizures in your sleep or?
Not that I know of. So far I haven't that I know of. But
Mm,
you know how memory goes, so
no?
that I know of could be a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that I can remember, I have none.
Hmm.
So far, so good.
Yeah, that's nice. My first few were in my sleep, and I only knew about them because my roommates kind of noticed. Um, yeah. So if I lived alone, I could have just gone without knowing about it for God knows how long.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Living alone is not okay at this point. Um,
oh yeah, I could never. I don't even know. I could never live alone.
my independence is gone.
Oh yeah. I always tell my wife, I'm like, at this point, are you my wife or are you my mom?
Mhm.
Like,
Someone says, question for people that have had seizures on Wellbutrin, Wellbutrin, or have epilepsy. If you were on Wellbutrin and had a seizure or more than one, could you tell me if you had them at any time? I had multiple of them only at night, which makes me think that it's not a coincidence. I had an EEG, an MRI done, but they didn't see anything, and I feel like my doctor is starting to give up on me because of it. Um, can't really
struggle,
say.
people, there's the brand names and the not brand names. Which one's Wellbutrin?
Um,
Bupropion. No, I don't think I ever took bupropion. Yeah, no, I've only taken Topamax, Lamotrigine, uh, one that starts with a Z, something.
uh, not is it Zepacoat or is that Depacoat? I can't remember. Hmm.
I don't know, but yeah, but
Yeah.
I hate Topamax, and I'm finally getting off it. I'm so excited. Um,
Rats.
Thank you. My doctor literally said she was like, I'm excited to meet the real you off of Topamax, who like can, find words and is fully, isn't like doesn't have I trying to this is an example of what she was saying. She was like, I'm excited to meet the you whose thoughts aren't fuzzy because of medication. And
Yeah,
it
I wish
just
mine was like that.
yeah, it made me feel so weird to hear her say that. I was like, wow, is it really that bad that I'm like a different person on this medication? Like, I know that it makes me feel like I'm a little off, but I didn't feel like I was a different person. Like,
Right. Me either. I understand what you mean.
yeah, so yeah, that made me feel weird. But yeah, stoked to get off it. So that'll be fun.
Right. Getting off stuff is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else experienced large pupils when trying SSRIs? What's that? Epileptologist wants to order another at-home EEG for focal aware seizures. Is this worth it? Yeah, I believe so.
Well, I've done like 4 of them at this point. I've done so many tests. I've done MRIs, I've done CT scans, I've done EEGs, I've done them all. So yeah, do your EEG. They're fun. Why not?
And the person says, my focal aware seizures have never shown on an EEG. This would be my third 72-hour EEG. I feel like this one is pivotal because my last EMU stay, they took me off meds and told me my seizures were not epileptic. Wow. Sometimes I wonder if it might be something else. Definitely not PNES because of the way they present. But when they don't show on EEG, what can I do? Have you ever had your focal aware show on EEG? Which part of your brain do they come from?
That's very strange. Like, your seizures aren't epileptic, then what the hell are they? I don't understand what that
Yeah, I
that's
understand that.
very that's very strange. I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of shit, but at least I'm lucky to at least live in Boston and have good doctors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I I've dealt with a lot, but at least I've got some of the top neurologists who
Right.
diagnosed me right away, you know. I'm blessed to have that at least.
Yeah, I think where'd you say you were? You said they have good hospitals?
I'm at St. Elizabeth's. I think they technically renamed it. They're like going through a transition right now, but yeah, St. Elizabeth's is what it was called at least. But yeah.
Someone says, turns out my epilepsy was in fact anxiety. Wow.
What?
Yeah, I hate the misdiagnosis, but anyhow, says I was given a possible diagnosis of focal aware seizures last July, which was like a bomb going off in my life. I said I'd been having odd episodes for a few months, which I would describe as brain glitches, where my mind would replay thoughts I'd have a few seconds earlier when I saw a neurologist. He asked if I had deja vu during these episodes. I tried to explain that it was similar to deja vu, but not exactly. I feel that as soon as he heard that, his diagnosis was made. I was prescribed lamotrigine, told I had epilepsy, and told not to drive. I was sure these episodes were part of my panic disorder, but he totally dismissed this. Now, 6 months later, after numerous tests, MRI, EEG, etc., I have been told this diagnosis was incorrect. I was prescribed diazepam and propanol 2 months ago. As soon as I started taking these every day, as soon as I started taking these, I realized, hold on, there's all kinds of stuff everywhere. As soon as I started taking these, the episode stopped. I realized I am very fortunate and I can now begin to tackle my panic disorder. However, I do worry about neurologists diagnosing epilepsy too quick based on particular red flag words leading to patients getting a shattering incorrect diagnosis and a lifetime on meds they don't need.
Yeah, that's interesting because that definitely sounds um like a panic thing. Like that sounds like panic attacks. And it's interesting because I have panic attacks and I don't think I take it anymore, but I took Propanol for a while. But it's interesting. I can see how panic attacks and focal aware seizures are how I can
Someone
see
says,
I
oh,
can see how aspects of those experiences are similar. And it's interesting how someone could confuse the two if they were being if they weren't paying attention.
someone said, should I see a doctor? 24 years old, never had a seizure uh, in my life. I've recently quit weed and tried intermittent fasting. I have decent levels of stress, but I didn't think it's anything to be concerned about. Anyways, this morning I was getting a workout in before my first meal of the day. I sat down for a moment. When I got up to do pull ups, I grabbed the bar above my head, got extremely lightheaded, and sat down. I was unable to bring myself back and went from sitting to laying on my back, losing complete control of my body while my legs and arms started convulsing. I would really prefer not making this a whole ordeal, but I am wondering if this is something I should seriously be concerned about. Yeah. Yeah. Person says, should I see a doctor? Yes.
Yeah.
You're having random seizures at the gym? Doctor time.
Yeah. I understand wanting to avoid it, but unfortunately, you, there's a point at which you can't avoid it.
Right. You gotta take care of your body.
Yeah, it sucks, but you gotta do it.
Someone said, have you ever faked a seizure to get out of anything? No, that's not something I fake.
It's not a bad idea. No, it is a bad idea. No, I haven't done
Not fun.
it.
Not fun at all. So I haven't faked it. It doesn't seem like something worth faking.
No.
Oh
I
man.
don't even know how I would do it. I don't know what it looks like because
Right.
you're not with it when they happen. So you
Right.
don't
I don't
you don't
know. I
really
don't
know
know
what
how
they
it would
look
look.
like.
I don't think I
Yeah.
could fake one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Can I take psychedelics? Hey guys, I'm an epileptic and I'm very aware that drugs probably aren't my best friend, but I was wondering if anyone else has taken them and how they was whilst on them, specifically shrooms. I'm going to Amsterdam, so I suppose they will be pure as they can be, if that makes sense, and not lace. It makes sense. Would I do it? Probably not. Personally, yeah, probably
You
not.
know, the memory's bad, so I can't remember exactly what it was. I got a lot of things wrong with my body, so I can't remember if it was epilepsy exactly. But I remember that there's something in my body that makes it so I can't do weed. Like it would be a bad combination.
Yeah,
So knowing that, I feel like anything else along those lines, probably not a good, probably not a good risk either.
does it lower your seizure threshold?
Maybe I I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh.
I'd
I
have to
was told
ask.
that tobacco does. So um, just watch out for tobacco time to time.
Mm, yeah.